Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for One Piece Chapter 1020. When we last left our heroes, the chapter largely focused on Franky versus Sasaki, finally checking in on that fight after a long time, and as most of Sasaki's henchmen had defected thanks to Tama, it was largely a one-on-one fight between Franky and Sasaki. The battle kind of raged. We saw Franky clearly kind of exhausted. The General Franky is heavily damaged. Franky has to escape it. And Sasaki has some really funny attacks with his, Triceratops frill. It's a really weird bit going on there. But in the end, Franky lands a major blow on Sasaki, seemingly ending the fight against Onigashima, and it's really, really hard to bring anyone down on this island, but it definitely feels like Sasaki is down. Meanwhile, we have some other things going on. Sanji and Queen's fight is continuing. Luffy wakes up on the Polar Tang. And then we check in with Yamato and Kaido, as Yamato has revealed his hybrid form with his mythical Zoan fruit. There's a little bit of a mention that Kaido went to great lengths to acquire that fruit, and is kind of bitter that Yamato ate it. So yeah, that's where we leave off, jumping right on into Chapter 1020, Robin versus Black Maria, the fight I have been waiting for so long. It's been like 15-ish chapters since Oda, first teased this fight, and now we're finally getting it. But our picture here is of Denjiro dreaming of eating a giant shrimp tempura as he chews his own pompadour. It's a funny bit, I will say. But yeah, anyway, we start on the Skull Dome roof, back with Kaido and Yamato, as Kaido kind of continues his sort of description, I think, of Yamato's fruit. The dog fruit. Mythical type. Model Okuchi no Makami. A rare mythical wolf. So that's the name of his fruit. Is Okuchi no Makami a, actual kind of mythological animal in Japanese? Let me try to do a quick Google search. Just for a quick sec, because I feel like there might be something there. Just a link to the One Piece wiki. So no, nothing I can find. Either way, which means it doesn't really tell us much that we didn't kind of see from last chapter. It's just a wolf, a very rare wolf. Oh no, Kaido continues. It is a guardian spirit of Wano, which makes losing it to someone claiming to be Odin especially painful. And Kaido brings his club down on Yamato, and Yamato counters, and that is why I tell you to uphold that role and protect Wano. For me. Oh wait, no, maybe that's Kaido, actually. And that is why I tell you to uphold that role and protect Wano. For me. Be its guardian deity. Referring to Kaido's plan to put Yamato on the throne as shogun. But Yamato snaps back, it is not the same thing. And we see Yamato breathing heavy. The fight is taking its toll on him. And Kaido continues, Orochi had a skill for exploitation. This country's a weapons factory. You will rule over it and keep it running. And Yamato snaps back, no, I will free them. I will liberate this country and its samurai, and release them unto the world. Namaji Glacier Fang! And he does this, I guess, ice-themed laser beam attack by that glacier name. Don't know what Namaji means. But yeah, it's this big ol' ice breath, which, if I know anything about Pokemon, ice does do well against dragon. Maybe that'll help. But Yamato flashes back to the image of Odin. Open Wano's borders! And Kaido breathes his own flame breath. You will not! Blast breath! And the two blasts kind of, hit each other, form a sort of spiral pattern. It's a really cool look. And Kaido just sort of growls, you will never. And we see Yamato, who is definitely the worse for wear between the two. We see, the same kind of huffing and, exhaustion that we saw in the Franky fight last week to signify how stressed Franky was getting. Whereas Kaido's kind of standing there. We see Yamato's got, dirt on his face, or blood, maybe. He looks beat up in a way that Kaido doesn't, which I guess makes sense in that this is Luffy's fight in the end. And Yamato will probably just do some significant damage to Kaido that will allow Luffy to kind of take over and not have the same result as last time. But yeah, Yamato's not really going to win this fight. Anyway, we then come on to the third floor. With Brook finally coming to our title fight. And Brook saying, "Robin, please snap out of it. Robin!" I have no idea what that's about. The problem, I think, when you leave a fight alone for 15 chapters, which is how long I think it's been since Robin and Brook took over the fight for Sanji, you just kind of, things have happened, and we have no idea what. And we see Robin is standing there at two figures. "Oh, Robin, don't listen to that voice, Robin. Listen to ours." Oh. And we see Robin looks happy, and it's her mother and Professor Clover from Ohara. And she looks to be kind of, like, it's obviously a trick. I don't know what devil fruit is causing this. I don't think we saw this during the Sanji part of the fight. But it has been a while. I might have forgotten some minor part of the Sanji fight. Someone was a shapeshifter. Trying to think who could, because it's not Black Maria. She's got the spider thing going. Unless she's, like, making clones out of a web or something. That would be really weird, but I guess it's a possibility. But, like, the actual copycat fruit is with Bon Clay back in Impel Down. Either way, Robin sees her mother and Professor Clover. Her mother's name is Olivia, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Until I get corrected, I'm going to just use Olivia, because I think that's right. Anyway, Olivia says, "Come here, Robin." And Professor Clover, "It's been so long, my dear." And Saul, who is also there. I think it's some kind of drug. I think she's under the influence of some kind of hallucinogenic, because we see all this smoke kind of wafting through the room. "Saul, I've been dying to see you again, Robin. But why are you here?" And Robin runs towards them. I don't know if the drug is also kind of hampering the analytical part of her brain that'd be like, I saw all these people die 20 years ago. But she seems to be falling for it, or she's playing Black Maria for some kind of trick. Either way, she runs to them. "I've missed you so much." And Olivia smiles, "So have I. And I too." And Saul adds on, "Look how big you are now, Robin." Just like through his tears, but Brook calls, "Stop, Robin! Don't go!" And Robin just sighs. "Yes, I know. It's such a shame. Tre mano." And she summons these, three giant hands to slap them. And they reveal themselves as what look like snake gifters. One of them clearly has a kind of serpentine body. I can't quite make out the body on the other two, but they're either shape-shifting or it was a drug that kind of made them look like someone else. Either way, Tre mano, Frisia! And all three of them get whacked. "Kunyu, eek!" Why didn't the illusion missed Nure Ona, the Hognose snake smile fruit. And then Kunyu, the number, is the big one, who is Saul. And then we see Tenjo Sagari, who ate the white snake smile fruit. And she picks up on Nure Ona's line, "Why didn't the illusion mist work on her?" Nure Ona, I also think, is a figure of Japanese folklore. Some kind of snake being. I think. Someone who's more knowledgeable on that, fill me in. But yeah, they're just sort of it feels more like an illusion than anything else. It's not like a important reference. Either way, she beats them all really fast, and we get to the actual fight. And Brook runs, and the two of them run somewhere. Brook runs up to Robin. "You could have reassured me if it wasn't working on you, Robin." And Robin just tells him, "Such a horrible thing to do. Toying with someone's most precious memories." And some more members of the Black Maria gang chase after them. "They're getting away. I can't believe Lady Black Maria's illusion mist didn't work on them. Ah!" And we see Black Maria appears behind them, taunting, "Oh dear, is that true?" "Yeah! Oh, this mansion is simply terrifying," is Brook's line. And Robin tells Brook, "You didn't have any problem with it either." "Well, after 50 years of practice, wishing every day that the death of your friends was only a dream, one does get used to being hurt by illusions." Holy shit, Brook! Don't just drop that on me! Ow! Okay, I think I said this in the past. Brook hasn't done a lot since I started reviewing the series for me to talk about Brook a lot. But if it weren't for Brook's kind of unrepentant quest to see women's panties, Brook would be a surefire choice for my favorite Straw Hat, because his backstory is so good, and I love a good bone pun. But Brook's backstory is maybe my favorite Straw Hat backstory. Robin's is really good too, as is Nami's, but there's something about Brook and Laboon, that, like, has always hit. And part of that is just that, like, a friend of mine who's into One Piece before I got into One Piece, and when I just read up to around Alabasta, had told me, I had, like, known about Brook, and he told me that Brook was of the crew that knew Laboon, and that got me so excited, and it's partially why I kind of got to started really getting into One Piece, along with Thriller Bark also being one of my favorite arcs. I love Brook. That whole tangent being, I fucking love Brook, and his backstory fucking hits. And just getting that line thrown at me, ow, fucking ow, Oda. And Robin just laughs. I suppose we have a lot in common. And Brook agrees, yo ho ho, all those trials were for this very day. And anyway, Black Maria then kind of catches up with them with her weapon that I can't quite describe. It's this sort of staff with a flaming circle end with a face in the center of the circle. It's a weird thing. The attack, she yells out, is Wanyudo sleeve string. The two of them dodge. Robin calls back, yeah, it's that strange weapon again. And we see, actually, the face in the weapon is a man named Wanyudo who took the pug smile fruit. Wahahaha. Seems that man-faced dog is continually keeping the fire lit with the wheel. And we see the backside of him is just a dog. I like the kind of the fact that Wanyudo is constantly wheezing, despite the fact, unlike, say, Yamato or Frankie or Robin and Brook, he's not really doing a lot of active movement. Pugs, I think, don't, like, because of the way they've been bred, don't breathe very well, I think. And so they have a lot of respiratory problems, which maybe intentionally is coming through there. Maybe, like, the action he's doing to keep the fire lit is what's making him breathe heavy, but that feels a little bit intentional. Either way. We see this webbing in, like, the grating in the ceiling, and Black Maria uses it to jump in front of Brook and Robin upside down. I'm worried Brook is about to throw us with a panty joke. I'm not sure she would be wearing panties because she's got a spider base, and I'm not quite sure how that would work. But anyway, I'm a little bit on edge there. Either way, Black Maria asks them, what was that? You won't be tricked by illusions? And Brook kind of stops, Aye! And kind of stunned. Robin sort of looks at her. How can you say that when you're clearly dreaming? And she spins the Wanyudo staff, who laughs, Wahahaha! Dreaming about beating Master Kaido. That's a good line there, I will say. Either way, we see Robin and Brook sort of jump out of the way of Wanyudo. And Robin uses her like, net of hands, spider net, which is definitely, an important comparison with her and Black Maria right now. Brook tells her, thanks for the quick save. And Black Maria Wanyudo still laughs, Wahaha! As I think Brook comments, the floor is a sea of fire. So yeah, they're kind of in a bit of a bad spot here. They can't get back on the ground because the ground is aflame. But they still gotta fight. I mean, with Robin's Devil Fruit, I think they've got a good chance. But we'll see. Anyway, Robin gets on to Black Maria. You're going to burn down the entire castle if you keep fighting like that. And Black Maria teases, are you worried about us? Thanks. Maybe you should give up and let me catch you, NICO Robin. And Brook tells Robin, would you mind dangling me under your arm like this a bit longer? Assuming that weapon is indeed a living creature, I can... And Brook ejects his soul from his body. Which I'm assuming we've seen that before. I can't quite think of when we did. I guess to possess Wanyudo? I can see how that would track with his Devil Fruit. You know, how his soul, after he died, found his body again. Still, he just, like, ejects himself. And Robin kind of takes note of it. Cold Soul! And he, with like his ghost, passes through Wanyudo, who comments, "That's freezing!" And it freezes him over, kind of giving up on making it like lose its fire abilities. Yeah! And Black Maria calls, "Wanyudo!" And Wanyudo falls out of the staff to the ground. Sorry, by the way, if y'all can hear my dog going wild. I'm hoping I'm loud enough to kind of drown her out, but she has been going for a good 10 minutes now. Anyway, back to the actual plot. With that, the fire is kind of put out, apparently, because Black Maria tries to hit them with the staff. Give up and face your end. And Robin drops, with Brook back towards the floor, which should be on fire, but I'm guessing it's not on fire. The Black Maria continues, "Don't you get it yet, NICO Robin? It's obvious to anyone with a brain that you've been sold out by your friends." Oh, that's going to tie right back into some of Robin's old trauma back in Water 7 and his lobby. Her old belief of no, she can't really trust anyone. But with that cured, with that, character arc long since resolved, I don't think that's going to work for her at all. Black Maria continues, "Blackleg knew I was hunting for you, and he helped lure you right into my trap." But Brook readies his own blade. "Soul Parade! Ice Burn!" And I think it's with that. I think it's that puts out the fire. Because it doesn't seem to do anything beyond just the smoke now rising from the ground. I think Robin, because Brook is somewhat immortal. He dropped into the fire and just sort of stopped it all, so Robin could land safely. Black Maria, though, keeps trying to taunt Robin. "You're just the baggage of your crew. The target of figures bigger and more powerful than you. That's why he was so eager to guide you to me." You are so wrong there, Black Maria. And Robin flashes back to Sanji's, "Help me, Robin!" And Robin just grins, knowing that all of this not going to have any effect on her. And Black Maria continues, "Now Blackleg is the laughingstock of all of Onigashima, and he's supposed to have the number 2 bounty. Tells you a lot about the level of your little crew." And Brook at all of this just kind of laughs. "Yo! Oh, that's Sanji. I nearly split a seam laughing." And Brook then asks Robin, "Robin, do you quite mind if I leave her to you?" "Thank you. I was hoping you'd ask." Alright, time for a full-on Robin solo fight. Admittedly, there are only like 3 pages left in this chapter, and I do somewhat suspect the fight will end this chapter. Just going with the theme of the last 2 chapters they'll talk about in the end of the chapter, assuming Black Maria does lose. But yeah, it's time for Robin's final bit. But Brook then stares down all of Black Maria's henchmen who are still chasing after them. "And I will take it upon myself to deal with this procession of ghoulies. And I do hate ghoulies." And then, back with Black Maria and Robin, Black Maria asked, "Did I hurt your feelings?" "No." And that kind of stuns Black Maria as Robin continues, "He's a very kind man. You don't need to know what it means that Sanji relied upon me for help. He is truly worthy of being the wings of the King of Pirates." And then she summons a whole giant body behind her, along with her own slew of giant arms. I don't think we've seen this before. We might have. Robin has not had a fight in a long time. Maybe she briefly used it during Dressrosa, but I don't quite remember her doing anything like this in the past. Gigante Fleur! Stunning Black Maria. And with that, we come back to Tokage. So it looks like the Black Maria fight will continue into next week. If not, sometime down the line when Oda bothers to deign us with another Robin chapter. Either way, back at Tokage Port. We hear people, this is the Polar Tang. They've surfaced. Because we hear Luffy, I need more meat. You've already eaten every bit of food on the sub, and we're not going to find any meat lying around here. And Shinobu, who has landed with Momo, of course, finds them. Momo is also there. "You found him in the water? What kind of miracle was that?" And one of the heart pirates just says, "I don't know. We just heard a voice." And Momo comes over to him. "What incredible luck you have, Luffy. I'm amazed you're still alive." And Luffy, who's still very clearly weakened due to his lack of food and being knocked into the water, asks, "You fell down too, huh? We escaped from Kaido and Shinobu's kite. But Luffy, and he starts bawling. During the escape, I could only watch as Kinemon and Kiku, and again, we still don't know if they're dead. But Luffy stops him. Hold it in until later. You're still the leader here. Excuse me. Don't start crying before we're done. None of this is finished until I smash Kaido. And we see Momo try to hold it in. He's not quite succeeding. As Shinobu tells him, you don't have to be so harsh to him, Luffy Taro. And Luffy just continues, I'm not losing the next round. And we see a familiar face sneaking in the background. Huh? Is that Straw Hat? What happened to the big battle? And it's Caribou, who I almost forgot was in this arc. It's been so long since the prison mine. I completely forgot he was here. Luffy calls again, meet! We know, we'll go looking! And Caribou thinks, if you guys don't win, I'll never be able to leave this island. Get it together! And Luffy points up to Onigashima, which is flying in the sky above them. Momo, take me back up there. Huh? Turn into a dragon and fly me up. Next chapter hits August 9th, which is an interesting release date for a chapter. They tend to come out on Sundays. This will be coming out on Monday, though, so 8 days instead of 7. Better than 14, I guess. Either way, I fucking love this chapter. There is so much good shit here. We open with a bit more from Kaido and Yamato. We don't get a lot of information that I feel is super important. We get some more kind of background info about Yamato's Devil Fruit. Not a lot of info on its powers, just an ice beam attack he pulls off there. But from a mythological standpoint, the Okuchi no Makami is some kind of guardian spirit of Wano, which does really kind of fit Yamato in really every direction. You know, simultaneously, Yamato's view of himself as the next Odin, as Odin himself, in all honesty. How Odin protected Wano, and so Yamato must protect Wano. It's Kaido sees it as the ability to use that imagery as this twisted perversion of the idea of Okuchi no Makami, which is really interesting. I'm really curious. We know that Kaido, from last week, we learned that 2 weeks ago, we learned that Kaido did not want Yamato to eat that fruit. I'm wondering if the idea of Yamato as the next shogun comes from him eating this fruit. And with this, Kaido kind of gets the idea, put him in charge, make him into this bastardization of Wano mythology, and, destroy the people's hopes even more, which is, a lot of really good shit there. Then, of course, we get the bulk of this chapter, Robin and Brook, who has some good moments, too. I love, Robin seems to almost be taken in by the images, which, I was a little, this, I could see, Luffy falling for this, or maybe Zoro, or Chopper, or Usopp. I couldn't see Robin falling for it, and I'm really glad when she pulls up that, I do like, though, as a bit of clarification for that, I like that Robin takes it in for a sec. She allows it to be real, because even if she knows it's fake, as we see, yes, I know, it's such a shame, she wants it to be real. She wishes her mother and Clover and Saul were all alive, but she knows they aren't. So she allows herself to live in that fantasy for the slightest of moments before, she beats the shit out of them in one blast. It's lovely bit of characterization there. Robin is great. Robin is also a strong contender for Best Straw Hat, if I'm being honest. If she, got more to do, Oda. Then the real fight with Black Maria begins. We have Juan Yudo and some quick thinking on Robin. I wish Oda did a little bit more with, the parallel imagery of Black Maria, the mythical spider devil fruit user, and Robin's spider net ability that she uses to kind of escape the fire. It feels like there should be something there, but there just kind of isn't. I like the reminder of just the horrors of Brook's past. Like, God, that hit me like a knife. That hit me like a fucking sledgehammer there. I was not expecting to get that kind of emotion right now. But then, yeah, Brook leaves this to Robin. We see Black Maria very clearly kind of hitting at what would have been old traumas for Robin, but Robin has grown beyond them, and they will not help Black Maria now. And we see that in the giant Robin that appears behind her. It's just good shit. Like, this is probably my favorite Toby Roppo fight. Wasn't worth a 15 chapter wait, I think. I might be slightly off of those numbers, but I think 15 chapters, maybe. But God, I sure am glad it's here. And then we come back down to Tokage, where Luffy needs food. Caribou is lurking around, so I imagine he'll have to... Like Oda would not show Caribou there if he didn't have some role to play in the arc. Either, in the immediate next part of the arc, playing some kind of role in the fight with Kaido, or some, last-minute enemy as the gang is leaving Wano, Caribou shows up. Let me do a quick check on what Caribou's devil fruit was. I've completely forgotten what his devil fruit was. It's been so long since he's really done anything. I feel like it's something to do with the swamp fruit. My gut was telling me it's something to do with gas, but no, he makes the swamp he can create a swamp out of his body that can stop people, which could definitely. I don't know. I think let me start over. I think Caribou is gonna have some role to play in the ending. I don't know what it's gonna be, and I would not have said that 10 minutes ago. But the fact that he's here. The fact that he shows up on the last page, he's got some role in all this. I got no idea what it is, but I'm excited to find out. But yeah, the real joy of this chapter is that fucking Robin fight. Holy shit, that was so good. And I can't wait to see how that wraps up. Hopefully soon, hopefully it continues next week. If it ends next week, great. If it goes next week and then continues after that, also great. But yeah, it's just a really great chapter, and I can't fucking wait to see what happens next. So, I'm gonna leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!